Good morning. Next topic, ex situ conservation. So, in the biodiversity conservation, two types are there. One is in situ, and the other one is ex situ conservation. So in the previous video, I explained in situ conservation. Now, in this video, I'm going to explain ex situ conservation. So, it is the process of protecting an endangered species of plant or animal outside its natural habitat. For example, so endangered means they are already in danger. So their population is below the 30%. It may be a plant or animal. So by collecting the genes or by collecting one or two um, animals or plants, so within a closed environment, in the in situ conservation, it is an open and natural environment, and in ex situ conservation, it is a closed environment. So we are providing food materials, yeah, and it is continuously monitoring. That is ex situ conservation. Okay. So this ex situ conservation is mainly four types. One is gene bank, and second one is seed bank, and sperm bank, and core bank. So these are the major ex situ conservations. So in these conservation, genetic erosion, a reduction of genetic variability due to genetic drift and inbreeding. So slowly, gradually develop this one, and that is endangered species or wild population gradually increasing. And adaptation to garden constraints, loss of adaptation to the wildlife. So, um, adaptation to garden conditions. That means so the water is supplied and nutrient water and fertilizer substances may be also used for the plant growth. That is there in these conditions. It is a laboratory conditions. Similarly, so no experimental conditions in the garden. That means it is the plant growth uh, is not there as expected. So we need to give some supplement material like phosphorus material or zinc material or sulfur material. We need to supply it. So that is there because it is in a controlled conditions. So this is about adoption of the techniques and the genetic load hybridization and so relaxed selection pressure. So what are the animals? Because these are the plants are the producers. What are the animals that are depend on these plants? So we are giving protection from those animals so that they have plenty of time for their development and growth and breeding process. So this is ex situ conservation, and it is there in laboratory conditions. So plant genetic resources, gene banks store, maintain and reproduce living samples, the world's fewest diversity properties. So we are creating artificial climatic conditions. So they ensure that means we need to maintain a proper temperature and water, and we have to supply the water and nutrients. These are laboratory conditions. So they ensure that the varieties and land races of the crops and their wild relatives that underpin our food supply are both secure in the long term and available. So that the dependents are not there. So it's a long time available, and it is used for the used by farmers and plant breeders and researchers for many purposes. These are the research centers with facilities to collect the seeds and gametes to preserve them for a long time. Suppose we are collecting the seeds from the certain rice varieties or certain types of crop varieties for a long time. So naturally it is not possible, but in artificial conditions and in laboratory conditions it is there. We have to preserve the varieties so that we can use it anytime. Okay, for the specific applications. Organisms can be recreated out of them whenever required. So that is the major advantage. Uh, Example for the gene bank is Rajiv Gandhi Center for Biotechnology at Thiruvananthapuram is the example for the gene bank. And geological gardens, that is true. Geological gardens are conservation centers where different varieties of animals are protected and housed separately. So in the forests, all the animals are there, mm, but the protection is not there. So for the food purpose, they killing one animal, they killing the animals. So and in hunting, there are some problems are there. So due to these problems, the population or the density of wildlife animals may gradually decreasing because all these are in food chain. So maybe they are primary consumer or secondary consumers. So in the survival purpose, they kill another animal. So, but in zoological gardens, so we are supplying the food material, and they are protected in a separate case, right environment. So, and we are giving protection from the killing, and we are providing the food material. So that is there. That is, we can protect the wild animals in the zoological parks. And that is also there in Thiruvananthapuram. So these are the major advantages of ex situ conservation. It increases genetic diversity and assists in breeding animals. So these animals are continuously monitored for genetic records to prevent inbreeding. Everything is possible because of ex situ conservation. This conservation takes place within the laboratory and controlled environmental conditions, either gene sanctuary, by bird sanctuaries, or the gene bank or bird bank like that, or in the geological park. We can do some protection, and we are supplying the food and water. So they can develop, and we are giving a protection also from the remaining animals. So the population of these animals gradually increasing. Okay, so this is about ex situ conservation. Thank you.